Hey guys, this is Abhishek from Technical. Today we are going to learn about AWS, that's Amazon Web Services. This topic is in high demand. If you learn it, you do the certification, you will be getting a high paying job. Okay, so let's start this topic and let's see what is there. So in AWS, we will be talking about some points. Let's discuss it. So what we'll do, we'll start with what is cloud. Like why do we need cloud actually? We can do on the server-based systems. Then why do we need a cloud? Okay, so we will discuss it. Then we will discuss what is AWS. So a type of a cloud that is provided by Amazon. So we will see what it is. Then we will discuss the different domains in AWS. Okay, and then we will discuss about the AWS services, the different types of services that AWS provides us. Then we'll discuss about the pricing. Why this AWS is in high demand? What kind of pricing they provide that most of the companies or most of the owners, business owners, they want AWS for that. Okay, so let's move on. Now we'll see that what was the condition before the cloud came into picture. Okay, so previously when it was the server-based systems, if you needed to host a website, we needed to buy some proper things. Like the first and foremost thing, we needed to buy a set of servers. Okay, and that set of servers could be extremely costly depending upon your business, right? If it's a small business, even then it's thousands of dollars. If you want to set up a big business, then again the cost goes high. Then again, when you have bought the server, if the money problem is solved, then you need to handle the traffic coming onto those servers. Sometimes in the peak hours it's too high, and when the peak hour ends, like in the night or in the morning, the uh, traffic is too less. So the problem is there for both of the things. When the peak server is there, peak traffic is there, then the server gets load of too much. But when the peak traffic or the traffic is low, then most of the servers are idle. So that is the money being wasted for the business owners. Okay? So the third point is monitor the servers and maintain. So you have to monitor. You have to spend certain manpower and in terms of money to monitor those servers. And when you monitor those, they will face some problems on some certain times. And then you have to maintain again. You have to spend again some money to maintain them, to resolve those problems. So these were the problems that we used to face when we were hosting a website on a server. Correct? So uh, these are the other problems also. The whole setup is expensive, like I told you, and the troubleshooting is again it's a very complex process and it's a tedious process, and you need experts on that. Since the traffic is varying, your servers will be idle when the traffic is. So these are certain common points which, when you host a website, only then you can understand. Right? So let's move ahead. Now, how do we fix this problem? Now, for to fix this problem, then came the cloud computing. Okay. Now we will see how cloud computing solved this problem. Okay. Now what happened here? Cloud, as we know, it's a group of computers where you put your data. So now what happens? You don't need to buy servers for that, because once you have taken this, because in this case you have taken the services of a cloud computing company. Now what they will do, they will provide you certain servers and they will charge you for that certain period of time for which you want to put the data. It's like renting the servers. Okay, and after renting the servers, you don't have to worry about the maintenance or the problems of the. It's the cloud service providers problem. Okay. The second one is scalability. Scalability means, sorry, scalability means you can uh, change the requirement of the servers as per your requirement. Okay, like you want sometimes when the traffic is high, at the peak of the traffic, you need more servers. So you can apply for it that for the certain period of time every day, I need more servers. So the cloud provider, the cloud service provider will provide you more servers at that point of time. Suppose in the morning you don't need that many servers, two or three servers are okay for you. So at that time, the cloud provider will not provide more servers. It will give you only three or two servers, like you mentioned. Okay. So these are the problems that are fixed by cloud. Okay. So I hope you understand that. Let's move to the next part. Now, this was the part of the cloud. Now, AWS is one of the cloud service provider. Okay, this is a company which provides you cloud computing technologies and the services and domains which comes under that. So first, by going into the AWS, Amazon Web Services, we will look out for the domains that are provided by AWS. Okay, these are the following domains. The first one is compute, then migration, security and identity, storage, networking, and content delivery, messaging, database, and management tools. So you can see it's a wide variety of domains that AWS provides, right? You can see it's a compute, it's a migration, and here when you go down, it gives you an SMS service, right? So what are these services? We'll look into it ahead, but this is just a flowchart kind of thing that you can just refer it to understand what AWS provides. Okay, AWS compute services. Now, these are the services which are highly used by people around the globe for cloud computing. So let's check it out. Now these are the computing services. Computing services as EC2, Lambda, Elastic Beanstalk, Elastic Load Balancer, and Autoscaling. Okay, so so guys, our first service in computing domain is EC2, that is Elastic Compute Cloud. Now, as the name suggests, it provides elasticity in computing on cloud. Okay, so that means it has scalability. I'll explain it later. Okay, so let's move ahead. So EC2 is like a raw server. We can configure EC2 services to be like anything. So it can be configured to become a web server. It can be configured to become a work at your environment. Like the software that you require can be installed and servers can be configured any time. Okay, so that is the kind of independence that you get when you use Elastic Compute Cloud. That's EC2. It's very flexible, scalability, elasticity, everything is there. What you can do is you can also resize the server when you require. It depends totally on your requirement, and it can be resized according to the numbers of servers you are using. Like we discussed before, that how many servers we need to use to sustain our business. It depends. Okay, so it can be increased or decreased depending on your requirements. For peak load, you can request more number of servers at some idle time when your servers are facing. You can reduce those number of servers and do not pay for it. Correct. So what we can do is what else we can do? We can increase the configuration of the servers. Like on a particular instance, if we have taken a particular EC2 instance, we can change the configurations of them also, right? It's like increase the we are not happy with the processor of that particular instance that we are using. Suppose it's a Windows server, we are not happy with it. Like in your computer system, you are having a i3 processor of some 6th generation. Like you don't like it. You want to jump to i5 or i7. So when you have a laptop or a computer system, you need to go and buy a different system. Okay, or you need to go and pay for processor for the whole life. But in EC2, you can just request it for a certain period of time, like from evening 4 to night 10. I need this kind of processor. Okay, so this is the flexibility that we get in EC2. So let's move on to the second service now, which is Lambda, AWS Lambda. So what is AWS Lambda? It is an advanced version of EC2. That is, it is based on EC2, but the AWS Lambda cannot be used to host your application like we used to do in EC2, right? Now, that is the major difference between these two services, that is EC2 and Lambda. Lambda, however, can only be used to execute your background tasks. Okay, so whatever is happening on your application in the background, it is handled by AWS Lambda. Now let's check it out how what are the background tasks and how does it works. Okay, so what are your background tasks? Suppose you are hosting an application and your application is there is a functionality where you have to upload some images or download some images, right? So whenever you upload an image into your application, the image is first compressed and then it is stored on a file system, right? So when the image is uploaded, uh, that particular function is being done or performed by the application memory. Now the task that we have done in the background, which is of compressing the image or applying any more filters to the image, these background tasks can be executed using AWS Lambda. So do you understand the difference between EC2 and Lambda, right? This is Lambda is totally focusing on the background processes. Now, how does a lambda function like this? What we just explained. Uh, how does it do it? Now, what does AWS do? AWS responds to the events, right? So there are triggers that you set up in AWS Lambda, and in response to those triggers, AWS executes the code, right? So in this case, which we are using for example, like here we are using uploading of an image file. The moment we upload the image to say suppose S3, which is again a file system in AWS. Okay, so what happens when the moment you upload an image to AS3, it triggers a trigger is generated, and that trigger is listened by AWS Lambda. That's how the functionality works. So whenever this AWS listens to this trigger, it responds to that event using that code that you provide, and that is how AWS Lambda functions. Okay. So what I'll do before moving ahead, before explaining you elastic beanstalk, elastic load balancer, auto scaling, these are quite more complex services. So right now we have learned about EC2 and Lambda. So let's check it out. Let's check out the uh, a practical approach towards EC2. How does it work? How does it look into the AWS console? Okay, then we'll go to the Lambda, Elastic Beanstalk, Elastic Load Balancer, and Control. But before, let's do some hands-on. So guys, let's start our hands-on lab. What we're going for AWS services. Okay, so what we'll do, see, first let's get familiar with the AWS console, right? So this is the AWS console where we log into it, right? So this is the region that you select. Currently, I have selected Asia Pacific Mumbai because that's where I am, right? So, and this is my username. Now, these are the services that AWS provides, and these are the resource tools. Okay, so we'll cut to the chase and we'll just look out for EC2. Now, when you are new to this, these recently visited services don't show. So, what you will do, you will search for it. Okay, so here it will come, and then you have to open it. So now here it is showing the number of instances. So first of all, there is a running instance. Let's stop it. because it might charge. Okay. So let's come back to the EC2 dashboard. Now what it shows, these are the resources that are being used by EC2. So you are using the following Amazon EC2 resources: Asia Pacific, Mumbai region. Now what the number of running instances is currently 0, dedicated host is 0. So when for the first time when you will open it, everything will be 000. Okay, now because I have already used it, it is showing some data in some of the columns. Okay, so don't worry about it. Let's start from the beginning. So for the beginning, what you can do is directly click on the running instances, right? So when you will open it, you won't have any running instances or any instance, right? So what you will do, we will launch an instance here. Now these are the types of different Amazon machine images. Now here, now why these are called images? Because you are not actually using the physical machine. You are taking an image of it from AWS. Okay, so these are the different types of machines that are available. It has Linux servers also, it has Windows servers also. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll take a Ubuntu server. Now here you have to just confirm before using it that you are using the free one, the free services provided by the Amazon. It's written free tier eligible. Okay, like this, it's here it's not written free tier eligible. So whenever you will use it, Amazon will charge you for it. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll use the Ubuntu server. Okay, which one you want 64-bit into 86 or 64-bit R? So we are taking 64-bit into 86, right? So again here you have to remember that we are using the free tier one only, especially when you are just starting to learn. Okay, because the moment you use any other services, at the moment Amazon will not tell you anything, but at the end of the month they will charge you, and that charge is extremely high. Okay, so use this free to year eligible one. Okay, what it has CPU 1, it has memory as 1 GB, EBS only. These are the different things which I will explain you later. Okay, so what you will do, you will come here, next configure instance details. Here, number of instances, that is the number of machines that you can go up to 2-3 machines. There is a limit, but for now we use one instance. Okay, because spot instances, this is paid, so don't take one. See, the current price is like this, 4.5 cents per hour, so we don't need it. These are again some complex things which I'll explain you later, like the IAM role, actually all of it. Because once we will learn IAM role, then we will be able to understand this. Add storage. Storage, how much do you want? So don't go, whenever you look for the storage, don't go for more than 30 GB, because after 30 GB, Amazon will start searching in total, right? So the size is currently 8 GB, that is perfect for us. And delete on termination. Just click mark it. When I'll launch an instance, I'll explain you what does delete on termination is. Right? So this one we have added. You can add another volumes. Like if you have a team, you can add 8 GB for root. You can add another 4 GB or 8 GB for other team members. Okay. Now go to the next add tags. We add tags. Tags is the one. It's like giving a name to the machine. Okay. So you can give anything. Now this is the security grip that will allow, from where it can send receive the data and fetch the data. SSH custom. Now we are just learning, so you can just put it as any. So it can receive the data from the queue, it can send the data to any. you want to give the description, you can give it, but at the moment you don't need it. Now we have to review it and we have to launch. You can check these details here. Okay, so it's just basic standard things like you have said. So we'll launch. Now here, this is one of the most important things. Now whenever you log into a particular application or a website, it asks for a username and password. Now AWS does not work so. Okay, so AWS works on key pair. Okay, you have to choose a key pair and you have to keep it with you all the time whenever you want to access an EC2 instance in AWS. Without that, if you lose it or if you forget it, you won't be able to access that data anymore, and there is no other way to get it back. Right? So what we'll do here, I have already existing pair, but I'll show you how to create a new pair. Okay? So what I'll do, download P2. So I'll keep it here in the desktop. Now we launch the instance. View instance. Now here you can see it's pending and it's initializing. So in the meantime, we'll see about the key that we have downloaded. I'll tell you what needs to be done. So let's check out the most important part, the keys. Okay. So we have already downloaded the PEN file, that is the key for AWS, and now to use that key we need to change that .pem file to .ppk file. Why? Because we will use that key to log into the PuTTY, and PuTTY acknowledges only the .ppk file. Right? So let's see how you do it. What you need to do is you need to go to Google and download PuTTY. PuTTY download. Okay. Now once you download that PuTTY, this will help you to convert the .pem file to the .ppk file. Once you have downloaded it, as I have already downloaded it, let me open it. Here. Okay. Now once you have downloaded it, what you will do is you will click on it. Right? It will go to the desktop and we have changed it to all files. All files. Click the pen file, open it. It will automatically convert. You need to acknowledge it and OK, and then save the private key. Save the private key somewhere important. Yes, it will automatically take it in the form of .py. We have saved it. You can close it, and now that our instance is running, when you click on it here, it will show you all the details. So, in the description part, you will see that the public IP is there, private IP will also be there, private DNS is there, private IP is here. Okay, so the public and private IP, you will understand what is the use of all these things. Okay, so public DNS, private IP, private DNS, private IP, public DNS, and public IP. So we will use public IP to log in with the PuTTY. Again, you have to download PuTTY. It's simple. So the public IP that you have downloaded it, just paste it here, and the other things that you need to check is connection. Now this, if you can check it in your system that if your cookie keeps logging out again and again, you can just change this 0 to 1 so that it won't log. In some of the cookie version there is a problem, and you can just correct it out. Now again, we'll go to the SSH, click on auth, browse it, and we'll browse it for the PPT. Okay. So this is my another PPT. Today's we have downloaded it here. Right? And again here, if I have used that previously, I wouldn't have been able to log into the system because this particular EC2 instance is attached to this email. Okay, so let's log in. So our system is Ubuntu, so we will log in with Ubuntu. We have the root. So this login, the login is Ubuntu. So this depends on the type of instance you have. So it's not Ubuntu, it's other language version you can use, EC2 user. So there are other different types. So this is the basic of the EC2 instance that we are using. And here, this will tell you how to connect to the particular instance. Like open an SSH client, locate your private key, the wizard automatically detects it. Again, then change mode. This is change mode you don't need to do, as this is for the the VM machine. If you are logging into a VM machine, this is the public DNS through which you can connect with. Okay, and again there are connection documents. You can just run it. You can just read it and EC2 instance connect. If it is Ubuntu, connect to. These are all. This depends on you if you want to use it or not. Okay. So this was about EC2 instance. This is the basic. When we move to other services, we will understand how all these things works. So our next topic is elastic load balancer. It's AWS ELB. Now, as you can see here with the flow chart, it is obvious what it does. So I'll explain it in the short. Elastic load balancer, what it does, it automatically distributes the incoming application traffic across the multiple Amazon EC2 instances. So here the traffic is coming from here, it comes to elastic load balancer, and then ELB decides that where to send this particular traffic from the given EC2 instances. Okay, so it enables you to achieve an increased level of fault tolerance for your application. How it does it? Does it by providing the required amount of load balancing capacity needed to distribute application traffic. Now you can distribute your incoming traffic across your EC2 instances in a single availability zone, or you can do the same thing in multiple availability zones. Now, distributing your incoming traffic among various instances under multiple availability zone is more in fashion, because what it does, it helps you to save your data. Suppose in one availability zone one data set goes down, but there is, in an extreme case, the data is lost. What happens if you do this among various availability zones? So even if one availability zone is down, your application is up and running on the basis of the other EC2 instances which are hosted in other availability zones. Right? So what ELB is what it does is automatically scales its request handling capacity in response to the incoming traffic. It can also ELB can also detect the health of your AWS instance. It's obvious from the what we have studied here. Now, when it detects an unruly instance, it will distribute the load to the remaining instances. Right? It's a basic topic of load balances. Right? So, what we'll do, we'll go ahead and do the hands-on in the lab AWS. Okay? So, guys, let's do a hands-on plastic load balancer in AWS also. So, yes. So again, what we'll do is we'll first, as I said, that EC2, that ELB is related EC2 only. So we'll go to the EC2 and here we'll find the load balancers. Okay? I already have a load balancer, but I'll show you how to create a new load balancer. So we'll go there. We'll create a classic load balancer. Okay? Application and network load balancers. It will be carried out in continuous. Here it's my default EPC. We need to give a name. Create an internal load balancer. No, we are not creating load balancer. Internal load balancer because I'll explain it to you later. Because most of the time we are hosting a website, which should be yes. Okay. So it's a basic load balancer. Let's go with SPP with port number 8. Okay. Now we'll assign the groups. What we'll do is we'll take an existing group with add any number of groups to it. Just add one, we'll move ahead. Okay. These you don't need to worry about, you can ignore it for now. Again, HTTP port, and this is the ping path where the AWS pings to check if the load balancer is affected or not. Response type 5 seconds, interval if it's for 30 seconds, energy threshold and ethic threshold. You don't need to worry about that in the for now. Again, you can take any of the instances. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll take 2 instances of different groups or on a different zone. Okay, taking this enable connection training units. That's it's up to you if you want to create or not. Okay, so it has been created. Now, so close it. Again, AWS S2. That's what we have to do. Right? So what you will do is go to instances and check. The instance ID is this. Availability zone South 1A and South 2. Status is showing as out of service, right? Check it here. Instance is in stop state. Okay. So what we can do is we'll go and start instances. Okay, so we have to check the instance ID D0 and 500. D0 and this is the south. Okay, so we will start these instances. We'll just do that. Okay, in the meantime, you can check all these things, health checks, what we have said already. Listeners, where will it bring to it? Monitoring. Monitoring is a more complex part which we will not discuss right now. Okay, so tags, I know that added tags. If you have added, okay. Now migration. It's a migration result which please don't get into it right now. Once you have a proper test of all the three programs, don't. Okay, so the only important thing is instances. Just check if it is running. Let's see if it shows oh, instances failed address and default. There was anyways, we don't need to worry about it. This is a way to create the load balancers.